So we're going to work a little bit tonight on the underpass before we get into passing, which is the old school first way people used to learn how to pass. And the way it was used to be taught when he first started was one hand here and one arm underneath. And the obvious problem with this is the triangle, right? So anytime you've got one arm in, one arm out, you're one grip away or one pull away from a triangle. So if you're hanging on the belt, for example, to prevent that triangle, all it's saving you from that choke is that grip, which is not something you want to rely on. Which is why most often people, myself included, when we pass under, tend to go double under. So once I get two hands under, there's no triangle choke, right? There's nothing reliable. There are chokes he can do with two hands underneath, but none of them are very good. And if you keep calm and have good pressure and connection, you will pass if they try one of those silly chokes on you, okay? But here, solid triangle, anybody can tap. So you want to go double under first, okay? Once I get double underneath, I don't want to try and pass with his weight on my biceps and on my forearm. So I need to get to my shoulder. So I either slide myself down, right, or lift him up a little bit, or a combination of the two. And when I do, I'm going to do internal rotation with my hand, kind of like I'm diving this way, right? Now, once I get it on my shoulder, my body weight goes forward, and I get a connection. And I like to grab the shoulder right here, okay? Now, I don't try and pass. Here's the mistake people make. They rush the pass. They go like this. Look at all that space. Bring your knee back in. A good guard player just puts you right back into guard, okay? So I get here, I bring myself here and get the connection. Once I do that, then all I want to do is connect my body to Liam's hip. See that? And now I get nice and close, and slowly I pass like this. And look at my right hand. It's keeping his foot off the mat. And then I come into the pass. If you let him touch his foot to the mat, see, he can use that to move himself away. So as I'm passing, I'm also, this arm is like this. My other arm is doing an external rotation, and I'm pulling his thigh to my hip, and that spreads his hips and takes away his mobility. See, try and get that foot to the mat. Now very slowly. And the nice thing about doing it slow too is it works me into a tight cross side where there's no space, which is what you want. You want to pass and hold the person, okay? So you can do that with one leg up, one knee down, two knees down the way I did it. There's all kinds of variations. Each of you might do it a little bit different. The steps to remember, one more time. Two hands under, never one in, one out. Get to your shoulder before you try and drive. Get a connection here. Hang on to this other leg so he doesn't touch the mat, and then focus on connecting your belly and body to the hip. And then the pass will be no problem. Sometimes I think the problem people have with this pass in the beginning is they're thinking about getting their head on the other side of the leg, which is not what I want you to think about. So when you start trying to move your head around the leg, what's going to happen is your hips are going to go back. And it's the space between my hips and his body that matters, not my head. So as my hips come in, or as your hips come in, your head will be free, because that's going to be so much pressure that you don't need to move your head at all. Okay, so once I get here and I get this grip, right, I'm not trying to see if I try and go backwards to get my head around. See how there's no connection and there's all kinds of space? I'm not doing that at all. Instead, I'm just letting my leg, you'll notice my left leg is just going straight until I get here. Look, now I don't need to worry about moving my head at all, because there's no way he can use that. And as we go into cross sides, I go right into the classical position. My arm is here, so he can't move his head away. If you wanted to try and pull guard, it's going to be difficult. My hand is blocking out his guard, and I go right to his shoulder line. So I'm pinning his shoulders with my spine, okay? So that's what you want to feel. The person should feel, it should be very uncomfortable, and they should not feel like they can move at all. If they can scoot away and bring their knee in, then you're giving them too much space. You want to slow down and get your focus on getting your hips a little closer. Each of those little pieces that I showed you are important. If he skips one, there's going to be a problem, right? So we're here. If instead of bringing two hands in, he just brings one hand in, then of course I'm going for the triangle. If he comes underneath and then he tries to stack me up before he gets to my shoulders, it's pretty easy for me to make him heavy. The drills we do and other things we do, it's going to be hard for him to pass. So he has to get to my shoulders before he tries to drive and stack me up or get my leg onto his shoulders. So now he gets my leg onto the shoulders, but he doesn't grab here. Okay, and he starts to come around. All right, there's no connection with that arm. So there's lots of easy things I can do when he's not connected with that arm. Go ahead. To get my guard back and to keep him from passing my guard. So each of those steps matters, right? They're not optional, they're fundamental. So both arms same time, gets it to his shoulders, then drives. Now he's connected, hang on. The gi, not as reliable. Lot more extra space, grab here. Good, now, if he tries to go around this way without hipping in on me, there's gonna be way too much space for me to move. So, go again. Good. Now from this point, all you want to focus on is dropping the hip. Straighten out your leg more. Yeah. All the way, put your weight in here, hip in. There you go, a little more. Now pull with your arm that way. Yes. Good. See, now if I try and push him away, he's connected. I can't shrimp to get space. So he's got the pass. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for frequent updates because we're updating this every week, and make sure you comment and like and share our videos. We appreciate it, and we definitely try and respond to all the comments. And if you like what we're doing and you like the material, check out SBG University, SBGU, and you're going to see a ton more in much greater depth than what you see here on YouTube. Thank you very much.